Hi. I'm Arma Saeed and you're watching The History House, your favorite YouTube channel. This video aims to give you a broad overview on the history of Albania. Please like this video and subscribe the channel for latest articles and updates on daily basis. Albania is the second country in the countries list and this the second video of this series, History of the Countries and How to Apply for their Visa. Albania, a virtual guide to Albania, a country on the Balkan Peninsula in southeastern Europe with a coastline at the Adriatic and the Ionian Sea in west, both portions of the Mediterranean Sea. It is bordered by Montenegro in north, Serbia, Kosovo in northeast, the Republic of Macedonia in east, and Greece in southeast. Albania shares also maritime borders with Croatia and Italy. With an area of 28,748 square kilometers, the country is just a bit smaller than Belgium or the US state of Maryland. Albania has a population of 2.8 million people in 2015. Capital and largest city is Tirana. Spoken languages are Albanian, official, English, Italian and Greek. Like neighboring and mainly Albanian-inhabited Kosovo, Albania has a Muslim majority, a legacy of centuries of Ottoman rule. Other main religions are Albanian Orthodox, 20%, and Roman Catholic, 10%. The climate in the country is extremely variable and diverse owing to the differences in latitude, longitude and altitude. Albania experiences predominantly a Mediterranean and continental climate, with 4 distinct seasons. Defined by the Köppen classification, it accommodates 5 major climatic types ranging from Mediterranean and subtropical in the western half to oceanic, continental and subarctic in the eastern half of Albania. Albania is a parliamentary constitutional republic and sovereign state whose politics operate under a framework laid out in the constitution wherein the president functions as the head of state and the prime minister as the head of government. The sovereignty is vested in the Albanian people and exercised by the Albanian people through their representatives or directly. The government is based on the separation and balancing of powers among the legislative, judiciary and executive. The legislative power is held by the parliament and is elected every 4 years by a system of party list proportional representation by the Albanian people on the basis of free, equal, universal and periodic suffrage by secret ballot. Brief history. The first attested traces of Neanderthal presence in the territory of Albania dates back to the Middle and Upper Paleolithic period and were discovered in Zare and at Mount Dajeti in the adjacent region of Tirana. Archaeological sites from this period include the Kamenica tumulus, Kanispel cave and Pelembas cave. In ancient times, the incorporated territory of Albania was historically inhabited by Indo-European peoples, among them numerous Illyrian tribes, ancient Greeks and Thracians. In view of the Illyrian tribes, there is no evidence that these tribes used any collective nomenclature for themselves, while it is regarded to be unlikely that they used a common endonym. The Roman Empire was split in 395 upon the death of Theodosius I into an Eastern and Western Roman Empire in part because of the increasing pressure from threats during the barbarian invasions. From the 6th century into the 7th century, the Slavs crossed the Danube and largely absorbed the indigenous ancient Greeks, Illyrians and Thracians in the Balkans. Thus, the Illyrians were mentioned for the last time in historical records in the 7th century. With the fall of Constantinople, the Ottoman Empire continued an extended period of conquest and expansion with its borders going deep into southeast Europe. They reached the Albanian Ionian Sea coast in 1385 and erected their garrisons across southern Albania in 1415 and then occupied most of Albania in 1431. The Albanian Renaissance was a period with its roots in the late 18th century and continuing into the 19th century, during which the Albanian people gathered spiritual and intellectual strength for an independent cultural and political life within an independent nation. Modern Albanian culture flourished too, especially Albanian literature and arts, and was frequently linked to the influences of the Romanticism and Enlightenment principles. Albania declared independence from the Ottoman Empire on 28 November 1912, accompanied with the establishment of the Senate and government by the Assembly of Vlora on 4 December 1912. Its sovereignty was recognized by the Conference of London. On the 29th of July 1913, the Treaty of London delineated the borders of the country and its neighbours, leaving many Albanians outside Albania, predominantly partitioned between Montenegro, Serbia and Greece. Following the end of the government of Fan Noli, the parliament adopted a new constitution and proclaimed the country as a parliamentary republic in which King Zog I of Albania, Ahmet Muhtar Zogu, served as the head of state for a 7-year term. Immediately after, Tirana was endorsed officially as the country's permanent capital. In the aftermath of World War II and the defeat of the Axis powers, the country became initially a satellite state of the Soviet Union, and Enver Hoxha emerged as the leader of the newly established People's Republic of Albania. Soviet-Albanian relations began to deteriorate after Stalin's death in 1953. At this point, the country started to develop foreign relations with other communist countries, among others with the People's Republic of China. After 40 years of communism and isolation as well as the revolutions of 1989, people, most notably students, became politically active and campaigned against the government that led to the transformation of the existing order. Following the popular support in the first multi-party elections of 1991, the Communists retained a stronghold in the parliament until the victory in the general elections of 1992 led by the Democratic Party. Following the disintegration of the communist system, Albania focused on an active process of westernization with the goal of accession to the European Union, EU, and North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. In 2009, the country, along with Croatia, gained active membership for accession to the NATO, simultaneously becoming among the first countries in Southeast Europe to enter the Partnership for Peace program. Outside of it, it also applied to join the European Union on the 28th of April 2009. However, it received, upon its application, an official candidate status on the 24th of June 2014. Between 2013 and 2017, Edi Rama of the Socialist Party won both the 2013 and 2017 parliamentary elections. As a prime minister, he implemented numerous reforms focused on modernizing the economy, as well as democratizing the state institutions, including the country's judiciary and law enforcement. Unemployment has been steadily reduced while having the fourth lowest unemployment rate in the Balkans. On the 26th of November 2019, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake ravaged Albania with the epicenter positioned 16 kilometers, 10 miles, southwest of the town of Marmaras. On the 9th of March 2020, the coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19, was confirmed to have spread to Albania. From March to June, the government declared a state of emergency, as a measure to limit the rapid spread of the pandemic in the country. On the 28th of July 2020, the country reported its 5,000th case. At this time, there had been nearly 150 reported deaths. I hope you have enjoyed the video, The History of Albania. In upcoming video you will get to know how to apply for the visa of Albania. Thanks a lot for watching the History House YouTube channel. Please like this video and subscribe the channel for latest articles and updated on daily basis.